Hey, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and we are talking about influencers today. And you can tell, I don't know much about being an influencer because look at that subscriber count. It is garbage, right? Um, but I do know people who do. And I was talking to one such person, and this person told me a couple things that I found a little bit surprising. So, we're living in a world where many influencers, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is, TikTok, um, their views, their ratings, their analytics actually far surpass in many cases television programs on major networks or cable channels, right? Um, but this person's telling me that even those individuals, these young influencers, often young influencers of color, um, they don't seem to have the best legal representation, right? There, what this person was seeing was a lot of two things happening. One, people representing themselves or having non-attorneys represent them in negotiations for influencer deals, like advertising, endorsements, sponsorships, things of this nature, right? And it was going two ways. One, they would agree to really terrible deals, like people with massive subscriber counts, huge traction with their audience, amazing, really amazing viewer involvement in the channel, would agree to like terms that were laughable, just not even close to what they deserved. Or the other way it was going would be, you have maybe a newer, up and coming influencer, and they would be demanding crazy terms that were like not even something anyone in the industry had ever heard of before. And listen, if you got the leverage and you want something in negotiation, I'm all for it. Go for it. But if you're just making up crazy stuff and everyone's looking at you like, I don't know if we can do business with you. You're being kind of wild. Well, that's probably not the best business move. Um, and this person was telling me about all this, and I'm sitting here like, well, that sounds really unfortunate. I bet I could help. And then I thought about it overnight, and I was like, that sounds a little white savory, saviory, right? Like I don't want to be me coming in and being like, oh, I'll fix it all. I got it. Don't worry. Count on me. Because that's not great either. And yeah, that's also not how I view this. But I do think influencers of color, and young influencers as well, but to me, more importantly, influencers of color, those are really valuable voices, like super valuable for society. And if we can get them better legal representation, their voices will grow, and their fan bases will grow, and their message will hopefully be good for society, right? So one of the things that I wanted to do, and this is a short-term program, I don't know how long I can afford to do this for, but I wanted to offer packages of free attorney time in jurisdictions where we can help people, right? And there's going to have to be conversations with individual influencers about where we can and where we can't help. And listen, I don't have detailed knowledge of fashion intellectual property law, right? If that's what your influencer contract is dealing with, well, I'm probably not the guy to help you. It's just not my expertise. I can probably find you somebody though, somebody real good, and I can lean on that person real heavy and say, hey, do me this favor. This person needs 4 or 5 hours of your time. Freebie this one. This is the right thing to do. This is an important voice, right? And you can say, oh, you're just trying to. It's capitalism and it's not actual helping people. You're trying to get business. Nah, I mean, I don't have a big practice representing influencers right now. We're employment attorneys, so it's tangential to what we do. But I'm not. There's no strings attached, right? It's like, hey, this is free, and also we'd love to introduce you to better attorneys, not the kid you went to sophomore year with telling you need to ask for $10 million for a 30-second spot. Maybe that's the correct number for you. I don't know. But like, there should be a process and a level of experience going into that negotiation, going into that contract review, wherein you're making smart choices for yourself, for your channel, for your voice, and how you are doing compared to the market, right? These are important things. And you can disagree. And if you disagree, you know what you're going to do? You're just not going to take me up on it. And I respect that. I'm not saying I definitely know better than you. I'm saying in terms of the legal work, I suspect I might, unless you do this for a living. In the same way that I don't know anything about how to be an influencer, and I would never think to substitute my judgment for yours, I feel relatively confident that we're pretty dang good with these contracts, and we can probably help. And I want to do some kind of situation where we're donating, 5 hours, which really should be sufficient to get someone through their first contract, for their first negotiation and contract. Really get them in a place where they have a deal of some kind, and they're moving forward. There's some momentum here. And once they've got a deal, they've got the income, they've got momentum, they don't need me anymore. They can go hire the best attorney any influencer ever saw, who represents Casey Neistat or something. I don't know. So this is not being like, oh, here's a freebie to get you in the door, then I keep your business forever. Nah. You're going to move on. You're going to go on to get specialized counsel. You're going to get someone who does just this, just represents talent influencers for a living. Okay? But I want to help, and it seems like no one's helping, or at least if someone is helping, that message is getting lost, and there's a lot of young influencers and influencers of color who are not getting the help they need, and it's less than ideal, and I hope this helps. I do track the comments on these videos, so if you think I'm a jerk, you're probably not wrong. But we can have a conversation about that.